Hi, it's Sarah here, and in this video I am going to be talking about wellness tips that you can implement into your life when you are working a job that either you don't like or that maybe you hate, or you're just feeling really drained at work right now. So first, let me tell you a little bit about my work journey and what I experienced to figure out all these tips. So about 5 months after college, I got my first big girl job, working as an admin assistant. And while that wasn't exactly what I wanted to be doing, it was a job and I needed a job. And I felt pretty quickly that I did not enjoy it. And I told myself I was going to wait 3 months to see if I really enjoyed it. At 3 months, it just got worse. It wasn't really the work that I was doing. The work that I was doing was fine. It was just basically everything else about the job. I'm not going to go into detail about it. I probably maybe will in a different video sometime, talking more about like my story. So throughout that time, I had received raises, I had received promotions, things like that, things that usually make people excited. And while yes, it's exciting, it didn't matter. Like, I still didn't want to be there. I started searching for jobs. Basically 3 months into working there. I applied for so many jobs for so many months. And then probably about a year, almost a year and a half after working there, I started to get so stressed going to work and thinking about going to work that I started experiencing horrible stress pains all up in my neck and my shoulders, but I didn't realize it was stress because I have never experienced stress to that level. And I have experienced a lot in my life, but I have never experienced stress to that level. I didn't know it was stress. I thought maybe it was sitting at a desk all day. I thought maybe my glasses weren't working well. I thought maybe I needed to sit straighter. I didn't know what it was. I had been to the doctor and the eye doctor, and after talking with both, they both said it sounded like it could be stress. So I learned some stress relief things to do that really did end up helping me to the point that I no longer was experiencing this pain. And it was horrible. I had a headache for an entire month straight, every day, every single day. The pains I felt, I was using heating pads, I was using rollers, taking hot showers every day, literally anything I could do. And then when I started implementing a lot of these things into my life, it didn't happen instantly, but over a course of a month or two probably, I started to feel so much better and I didn't have those pains anymore. So I hope that this helps you guys, and if you're experiencing that right now or anything similar, I am so sorry. I hate that we have to work jobs that we hate. I hate that we have to work jobs that we just need to do to make money. I hate that we have to be unhappy with what we're doing in our lives. I hate that people have to spend 40 or more hours a week doing something that they don't enjoy. So I'm really sorry that you have to experience this. This is a touchy topic for me. I feel so sad thinking about how I experienced this and thinking about how other people have to experience it. I cannot tell you the amount of times I have cried just thinking about how other people have to experience horrible jobs, let alone how I had to experience it. So I am really sorry. I hope that these tips help you in any way, and I guess let's just get into it. So first, I'm going to list some things that you can do daily to help yourself to feel better during the day and at work. So the first tip that I have is to plan a morning routine that you like. And you probably hear this more often than not. Routines are important, routines, blah, 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 this. But it really is true, especially if you are somebody who prefers to have routine. So whether that is just making your bed in the morning, if it's reading something in your Bible or reading in a book for maybe 10 minutes in the morning, maybe it's taking a walk, maybe it's exercising, going to the gym, maybe it's making a nice breakfast for yourself, whatever it is, even if you have to get up maybe 30 minutes earlier to do it, or 15 minutes earlier, or an hour earlier, if it's for your mental health and it's something that you think will make your day better, then you should definitely try it out. And don't try it for just a day or just even a week. Try it for a long period of time, maybe a month or at least a few weeks, and see if it really does help you in your lifestyle. Use a light therapy lamp. This is something that's meant more for people who experience seasonal depression or the winter blues, which I definitely have experienced the winter blues before. And so I kind of got it for that reason, but also it did help me in this way. A light therapy lamp, I don't really know exactly how to describe it. It's basically a light that just mimics the sun in a way, I guess. I would say look it up if to get a better description of what it is. I'm not very good at describing things. And I got this and I used it while I was putting on makeup and doing my hair for the day. And so that was maybe 10-ish minutes that I would have it on, which isn't a ton of time, but it actually did help lift my spirits a bit, especially when I was getting up while it was still dark outside. And even if I did get to see the sun during the daytime, it was just nice to have it. And but it especially was helpful for like when it was cloudy all the time or raining or snowing or whatever it was all the time. And now I'm working in an office that doesn't have any windows, and so it's nice to have it for that reason as well. And also I will link that one that I have down below. I didn't know much about meditating or the benefits or even how to do it really. So if you want to learn more about meditating, I would recommend maybe just looking up a video or different ways to meditate, but I will tell you the way that I have done it. So I have used this app called SBT. I'll put it up here. So what I do on there is you start a check-in and you basically tell it how you're feeling, if you're feeling sad or mad or happy or just blah. You put in those emotions and it will create or sort of recommend like a meditation for you to do. And there are paid options, but there are many free options that help as well. And I just do the free version. Then you do the meditation. They're no longer than 10 minutes. They're generally more between 5 to 7 minutes. And I would just do that meditation, close my eyes, whatever it tells me to do. I'll generally close my eyes, put my hands on my lap, and I will just do the meditation. I'll listen to it. It's very calming and relaxing. I used to do it before I went to work because I always felt so stressed thinking about having to go to work that this really helped to calm my mind. Sometimes I would even do it during the work day if I was still feeling like really anxious or stressed or whatever it was. But you could also do it before bed. You can do it as many times as you want to. There's no reason you can't keep doing it. And it surprisingly really did change my mood, because after you do the meditation, it'll ask you again like to do a check-in, and almost always every time after I did the meditation, my check-in was better. Like, so the first time I would put that I was feeling sad, stressed, whatever it was, I do the meditation that it recommended, and then I would put in my check-in, I would say I feel calm, I feel at peace, I feel neutral. So that definitely helped me, especially doing it every day. Another thing that I really started to do more was reading my Bible or a devotion. You could also journal if you aren't religious, and doing that for me, I would do it again in the morning. I would do it while I ate my breakfast. I loved doing that. I would read devotions from the Bible app, and I would pick one that felt relatable to how I was feeling at the time. Some of them are just 3 days, some of them are 10 days, some of them are 5 days, some of them are 30 days. Like, you just kind of go through and pick what plan that you like the best, and they're free. I think all of them are free. I don't think there's any paid devotions on that app, so it's super wonderful that they have that resource. So I highly recommend that if you are religious, and if you're not, there are so many journals out there that people love to use. Or maybe you do it at the end of the day, you write down how you felt during the day, how you feel now, what you've experienced. There are a lot of journals that have prompts in there if you don't know what to write. So I would definitely recommend looking up some different journals that are out there if you're interested in doing that. Another thing, this was similar to meditation, I didn't understand practicing gratitude. Practice gratitude basically just means being thankful for the things that you have and being grateful for them, but I never understood what practicing that meant. And as I kind of learned and started to just try different ways, I realized how amazing it was to have that in my life. The way that I would do it is in my planner in the mornings, there's a little prompt where I can just put something I'm grateful for, which would trigger me to start thinking about all the good things that I have in my life. And sometimes it's hard to think about the good things that you have when you feel like there's so many horrible things happening in the world or happening in your life, or you just feel so sad that you feel like you can't think about anything happy. But I would even just do basic things like the sun. I'm happy to have the sun shine out today. Or I am grateful that I have a home to live in. I'm grateful to have food in my pantry. And the other thing that helped me to practice it and really think about it throughout the day is when I got to work at my desk, I would take a Post-it note out and I would write 5 things down that I was grateful for. I would put it under my monitor, just at the bottom there. I would just post it onto there, and throughout the day I would just look at it all throughout the day. Every time I looked at it, I would smile, like every time. And they say smiling lifts your mood, but it feels weird to just be like, just randomly smiling. So when you have something that is making you smile, it like really lifts my mood and would help remind me of what I have to be grateful for. And if you don't work an office job where you can write it on a post-it note like that, maybe just put it in your notes in your phone and set a reminder every hour or something like that to be like, check your gratitude list. Or you can put it on a pretty background if you want, on your phone, and put it as your background so every time you open your phone you'll see it. Something like that so that you can remember to be looking at it throughout the day. Another thing is to just take some breaks throughout the day. I can only speak for an office environment because I haven't really been in any others besides like maybe restaurants. To try to take just like a 2 to 5 minute break like a couple times a day, maybe one in the morning, one in the afternoon, just around your lunch break time. And in this time, maybe take a short walk, just walk around the building, even if it's cold outside, just to get some fresh air. Or if you have a lot of stairs in your building, maybe walk the stairs up and down a couple times, or walk around the building, like inside the building if you don't want to go outside. Or even just sit away from your computer for a second and go find a window and stare outside, or step away from your computer and do like a little stretch. Something where you're not looking at a screen, not looking at your phone, just taking some time to just like breathe and to enjoy life itself. Drink more water. Now, this is something that is helpful for many things in life. It has very many advantages to drinking more water. I'm not going to go through all the advantages to drinking more water. If you want to look that up, go right ahead. For me, it just kind of helped me to feel good overall. It definitely did help like my digestion. It helped me to just feel less hungry throughout the day. It kind of helped my skin a bit. And just in general, I was kind of just bored. So I would just be like, okay, I'm going to drink more water. So I would drink more water and drink more water until I started realizing like that I felt better. Just kind of physically, I guess. It didn't specifically help my mental state, but it helped me physically. And the way that I kind of did it is I set goals for myself throughout the day, and I would plan to drink 20 ounces of water before I left for work in the morning. As soon as I woke up, I would drink water. I would drink another 20 ounces by 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. So as soon as I got to work, I'd fill up my water, drink 20 ounces before 10 a.m. Then I would drink another 20 before lunch, and then when I went to go make my lunch, I would fill it up again, drink that, and I would have another 20 ounces before 2 p.m. Then I would make myself have another 20 ounces before I left work at 4:30, and then I would try to drink another 20 ounces in the evening before I went to bed. And this kind of goal that I had, I was like, oh, it's almost 10 a.m. I gotta finish drinking my water. And it was kind of just fun for me to have those goals. And then I was able to start drinking 100 ounces of water a day or more, sometimes a little less, if I'm not on it. But that was kind of just like a fun thing, and it was helpful for me. Take your lunch break instead of working through your lunch break. I know some people like to work through their lunch break because that means they get to leave 30 minutes earlier or an hour earlier, whatever that is, and you just want to work at your desk and keep eating your lunch while you work, but that is so unhealthy for you. And I did this. I used to do this a lot, actually, because I didn't get to leave early from work, but that half an hour I got to use for comp time to be off at a later date. So if I did this every day, I could easily make it up to having a day off of work or something. While that was nice, when I started taking my lunch breaks again, I realized how much better I felt. Just taking the time to get away from the screen, get away from the work, get away from the people, whatever you need to get away from, and sit at a different spot in your office maybe. Don't sit directly in front of your computer, or if you have a lunchroom, go sit in the lunchroom. Go sit outside if it's nice outside, and play a YouTube video on your phone, watch a show that you like, download it on the Netflix app, whatever it is, listen to a podcast, maybe listen to a book that you've been reading, or just listen to the sounds of the world instead, or look at social media. Just kind of take your mind off of whatever it is at work and give yourself a break. A lot of the time I generally eat for like 20 minutes out of my break, and then I would take a 10-minute walk outside when it was nice out, and that was so wonderful. And then I came back to work and I felt ready to keep going for the next 4 or 5 hours that I had to work. Walk during your lunch break is the next thing I was just gonna say, but I basically already said that in the last one. walking in general is just going to help kind of boost your mood. It's going to help you to feel a little more ready to go. And I've also recently learned that walking after you eat can really help with digestion more, instead of sitting on the couch and lounging back, sitting at your desk, whatever it is. Walking just has a lot of benefits, so I would recommend trying to get walking into your day more if you can, especially in the middle of the workday if possible, because that's going to help you to have like a good mental break. Exercise. So exercise is obviously extremely important for many reasons, but it definitely helps mentally as well. Now there's so many different forms of exercise and not everybody likes to do the same stuff, so you might have to do a little trial and error to find what you enjoy best. And if you can't afford to get a gym membership, you're too scared to get a gym membership, you don't know what to do, that is totally fine. There are so many at-home workouts that you can do. You could also, if you like to swim, maybe go to a YMCA or something where you can do swimming, or go to a track where you can do running there. Do yoga. There's yoga studios, there's yoga videos where you can do it at home for free. Same with Pilates and all sorts of stuff. So find something that you enjoy doing, but exercise. It is so important for you. And when I started to finally kind of get in a routine of exercising, I felt so good. So just find some form of exercise to do, and you can look up different exercising routines that you can do, or just try different things out till you find something you like and be able to fit it in your routine. And again, you don't have to work out for an hour to 2 hours a day. Like most people, that's not possible, especially if you have a family or if you have kids, or even if you just have a ton of classes that you're taking, if you work more than 8 hours a day, all sorts of stuff that goes into that and factors into not having enough time. But again, if you prioritize something, you'll find the time to do it. So even just fit in 30 minutes a day, or start with 30 minutes a day of riding your bike until you start to be like, oh, I want more of this, I'm craving more of this, and then make it an hour or whatever it is. So highly recommend. Stop taking in so much content. So during this period of time where I was really struggling, I decided to take 2 months, well actually I decided I was going to take a month off social media. I ended up enjoying it so much that I took 2 months off. Whenever I did that, I didn't delete my accounts or anything. I just decided to delete my apps and not get on any social media form. Besides, I think I still had YouTube, but I really didn't even look at YouTube that much either. But I would find myself, like, I would sit on the toilet and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't have social media to look at. What do I do? Or like when I was bored at work or whatever, I would want to pull out my phone and look at social media. I'm like, what do I do now? I don't have this. But I started to realize that I didn't need to see all the stuff that I was seeing. I didn't need to be taking in all this information about other people's lives and all these wonderful tips and ideas for how to do things and meal prep, and it's all great stuff, but it needs to be taken in small amounts. So things that I ended up starting to do instead, so like when I was sitting on the toilet and I didn't have social media to look at, I would read my Bible app instead. I would just read some verses. I would just kind of scroll through and read that instead. And I started to realize how much better, like the things that I was getting into my head, and how much better I would feel not seeing all this stuff about other people's lives. Another thing that I started to realize is, like, right before bed, instead of scrolling through social media, I would just watch a show that I enjoyed, or I was reading my book more, or reading my Bible more, and I would start to listen to more calming music or nature sounds, like while I worked or while I worked out or something like that. Instead of taking in so much other stuff, I was just getting in relaxing things into my brain, which helped me to feel more relaxed overall. So I know on iPhones at least, you can tell it to set a do not disturb at a certain time. So I just had mine set, I think mine still does it an hour before I have my bedtime actually set. It'll just go into do not disturb and I don't even realize, and I'm just not getting notifications and stuff, which is really nice, so I don't really have the urge to look at my phone. And during that time, I'll go shower, do my skincare, get in bed and relax. If you don't shower at night, maybe you can just kind of tidy up in your home, get ready for bed and get in bed and read a book or something like that. And if you have something you're looking forward to before bed, like, oh, I can't wait to take this really wonderful bath with candles going, like then you're gonna have something you're just like, wow, I'm so excited to do that tonight. And that is very helpful as well. So now I'm just gonna list some things that you can do weekly to prepare yourself for work and to help yourself feel better about going to work. So the first thing is just to plan your week. This is something that's helpful to do for a lot of different reasons, but specifically for helping yourself to feel better at work is if you're seeing all these other things that you have going on, or you're planning stuff for you to do, even just write things down like, I'm gonna watch a movie this night or something like that. It'll be like, wow, my life really isn't just working. It really is, there's other stuff going on that I can do. And that also just helps you to feel more organized. It helps you to feel set up for success. So definitely getting a planner or a calendar of some sort to plan your week out will be super helpful and for a lot of reasons. Plan something to look forward to each week. While we all wish that we could look forward to a vacation every month or something like that, that's just not possible for most people. So instead of having something huge to look forward to each month, and it's not bad to be looking forward to going on vacation or something, but sometimes you need something to look forward to each week. So maybe that is like planning to have a picnic one afternoon after work, or going out to eat at a restaurant, or you're gonna go walking at a new location, or taking a hike, or trying out a new workout, making a dinner recipe that you've been wanting to try, or having a date night, or having a movie night with a friend, or FaceTiming a family member, or something like that. Like plan something every single week that you can look forward to every single week. Make Sunday be a day that you enjoy. So Sundays, for all of those people who don't like their jobs, Sunday's really hard. Sunday's a day where you feel really sad. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it's the weekend still. You just feel like, oh my gosh, I have to work tomorrow, and all you can think about is that you have to work, and then you have to work for 5 days, which feels so daunting and overwhelming when you're in the place of like, wow, I don't want to go to work. And I experience this so much. Even now that I'm working a new job, I don't experience this as badly as I used to, but there are still some days where I feel like that. If you make Sunday a day that you can look forward to, then that is wonderful. Like if you really look forward to going to church on Sundays, then put that in your schedule still and continue to do that. Or plan a hike, or plan just like to go walking for a while, or plan to go to some shops, maybe not actually do shopping, but just to go look, or plan to binge watch the show that you've been waiting to watch, play video games that maybe you don't get to play as often, or plan to FaceTime a friend or family member that you don't get to talk to often, and just dedicate a good portion of that day to doing that. And my last thing, but definitely not least, is to prep meals in advance or over the weekend so that you have less going on during the week. Because on those days during the week where you're feeling sad and you're feeling really down, the last thing that you want to do is also then have to cook dinner and clean up dinner when it feels like you just don't want to do anything at all. So if you prep your meals in advance, there's many benefits to this as well, but then you're not feeling the overwhelm that you might feel during the week. And while yes, it does take some more time to prep your meals in advance, it's still just going to be so helpful for you. And maybe plan to do it on a Friday night, or plan to do it sometime on Saturday or Sunday if you want to do it on Sunday, or even maybe do it Monday night. But I would say Monday night is probably not the best night to do it, especially if you're somebody who's like Monday's a really hard day for you. I would even say Thursday night is a great night to do it for the following week, because usually you're going to be more excited, like, yes, tomorrow's Friday, like, and then you'll be excited to do it. So you're like, all right, I'm going to prep my meals so I'm ready to go for next week. So those are just some of the tips that I have to help you to feel better about work, to help you to not feel the horrible stress and pain that I felt. These things really, really did help me, and I hope that whatever situation you're in, that you can get out of it, or that it gets better, or that it changes. Just know your worth, and if you feel like you're in a bad place and you are not enjoying what you're doing, maybe it is worth going to find something else, because you don't deserve to be experiencing what you're experiencing. So I hope that you can find something that is really wonderful and that you enjoy, or at least find something to do in the meantime that you enjoy instead. Working a job that I basically hated helped me to realize I wanted to start a YouTube channel to begin with, because I was like, wow, like I'm experiencing horrible things at work, but in the meantime, like I'm still enjoying my life and finding things to do in the process of while I have to apply for jobs and things like that. So I was like, there's probably so many other people that experience this as well, and I want to help to find other things that can bring you joy in your life. So if you've enjoyed this video, I hope that you will hit the thumbs up button down below. And if you want to join my journey in finding joy in everyday life, I hope that you will subscribe to my channel, because I really do want to help you. While I can't be there to help you at work, I hope that I can help you in other ways of your life. So I hope that you all take care, and thank you for watching. Bye.